Hello, my name is Nargis. For millennia, our planet has been adorned with vast frozen kingdoms at its poles. These immense sheets of ice, brilliant white against the deep blue of the oceans, have been a constant, seemingly eternal feature of our world. They are the Earth's refrigerators, regulating our climate and harboring unique ecosystems found nowhere else. But what if these silent icy giants were to vanish? What would happen to humanity if all the Earth's ice melted? It is a question that pushes the boundaries of our imagination, conjuring images of a world transformed, a planet almost unrecognizable from the one we know today. This is not merely a thought experiment, it is a journey into a potential future, one shaped by the consequences of our actions. The story of our planet is one of constant change, but the speed of the change we are now witnessing is unprecedented. The melting of the ice is a stark, visible indicator of a warming world. To understand what the complete loss of this ice would mean, is to understand the profound and intricate connections that govern our planet's systems, from the currents of the deep ocean to the weather patterns that dictate the lives of billions. So let us embark on this journey together. Let us explore the cascading effects of such a monumental event, from the reshaping of our coastlines to the very air we breathe. We will witness a world where familiar maps are redrawn and the balance of nature is irrevocably altered. This is the story of a world without ice, a glimpse into a future that we still have the power to influence. Let us begin. The first and most immediate consequence of a total ice melt would be the rise of our oceans on a scale that is difficult to comprehend. Imagine all the frozen water, currently locked away in glaciers and ice sheets across the globe, returning to the sea. The sheer volume is staggering. Scientists estimate that this would cause global sea levels to rise by over 65 meters, or more than 216 feet. This isn't a gentle lapping at the shore. It is a relentless, world-altering inundation. Entire coastlines, where a significant portion of the human population lives, would be swallowed by the advancing waters. Consider the great coastal cities of our time, the bustling hubs of culture, commerce, and history. New York, with its iconic skyline, would see its streets become canals, the Statue of Liberty standing as a lonely sentinel in a new, expansive bay. Across the Atlantic, London, a city built along the tidal Thames, would be submerged, its historic landmarks lost beneath the waves. The same fate would befall Shanghai, a glittering metropolis of millions, and Mumbai, the vibrant heart of India's west coast. These are not just places on a map, they are the homes and livelihoods of hundreds of millions of people. The transformation would be absolute. Florida would vanish. Much of Bangladesh would become part of the Bay of Bengal. The Netherlands would be entirely reclaimed by the North Sea. The world map as we know it would cease to exist. This rising tide would not be a single catastrophic event, but a slow, creeping advance redrawing the boundaries between land and sea over decades. It would trigger the largest mass migration in human history, as entire nations are forced to seek higher ground, creating unimaginable social and political upheaval on a global scale. At the heart of this great melt are the two largest reservoirs of ice on our planet, Greenland and Antarctica. Today they are vast, desolate, and beautiful wildernesses of white. But in a world without ice, they would be transformed beyond recognition. The colossal Greenland ice sheet, in places over 3 kilometers thick, would disappear entirely. In its place, a new, large island would be revealed, its topography shaped by the immense weight of the ice it once bore. The interior, currently pressed down below sea level by the ice, might even become a large inland sea. Further south lies Antarctica, a continent almost entirely buried beneath an even greater ice sheet. The loss of this ice would be a planetary event of staggering proportions. The West Antarctic ice sheet, considered the most vulnerable, would collapse first, contributing significantly to the initial sea level rise. As the much larger East Antarctic ice sheet followed, the true shape of the continent beneath would be revealed for the first time in millions of years. It would not be a single landmass, but a great archipelago of mountainous islands, its familiar shape gone forever. The human cost of this continental vanishing act would be immense, even for those living thousands of miles away. While Antarctica has no permanent native population, the disappearance of these ice sheets would displace millions indirectly through sea level rise. Coastal communities from the Pacific Islands to the deltas of Asia would be forced to abandon their ancestral homes. The geopolitical map would be in turmoil as nations grapple with stateless populations and lost territories. The very concept of a sovereign border becomes meaningless when the land it defines is underwater. The Earth's ice caps do more than just store water, They act as the planet's vast, reflective mirrors. Their brilliant white surfaces reflect a significant amount of the sun's energy back into space, a phenomenon known as the albedo effect. This process plays a crucial role in cooling our planet and maintaining a stable climate. The loss of this ice would strip the Earth of its primary cooling mechanism. Where once there was a bright, reflective surface, there would now be dark, open ocean or exposed land. These darker surfaces absorb sunlight, rather than reflecting it. This change would trigger a dangerous feedback loop. As more ice melts, more dark ocean is exposed. This dark ocean absorbs more heat, which in turn warms the planet further, causing even more ice to melt. It is a self-perpetuating cycle, a runaway train of warming from which it would be incredibly difficult to escape. Global temperatures, already on the rise, would begin to climb at a much faster rate. The world would become a far, far hotter place, with average temperatures soaring to levels not seen for millions of years. This intensified warming would make vast swathes of the planet simply uninhabitable for human life. The tropics and subtropics, already experiencing extreme heat, could face conditions where it is physically impossible for the human body to cool itself outdoors. The heat would place unbearable strain on our agriculture, our water supplies, and our energy grids. A world without its reflective ice shields is a world stepping into a new, dangerously hot climatic regime, one that our civilization is entirely unprepared for. The dramatic rise in global temperatures and the alteration of ocean surfaces would fundamentally disrupt the engine of our planet's weather. The intricate systems of atmospheric and oceanic circulation, which have shaped our climate for millennia, would be thrown into chaos. The temperature differences between the poles and the equator are what drive many of our weather patterns, including the jet streams that steer storms across the mid-latitudes. With the poles warming much faster than the rest of the planet, this temperature gradient would weaken, leading to unpredictable and extreme consequences. We could expect to see weather patterns become locked in place for longer periods. This means that droughts would become more prolonged and severe, turning fertile lands into dust bowls. Conversely, when it does rain, the downpours would be far more intense, leading to catastrophic flooding on an unprecedented scale. Storms, fed by the extra heat and moisture in the atmosphere from warmer oceans, would become more powerful and destructive. Hurricanes and typhoons, which draw their energy from warm sea surface temperatures, could reach intensities we have never before witnessed. The predictable rhythm of the seasons, the foundation upon which all of our agriculture is built, would be lost. Monsoons could fail or arrive with devastating force. The delicate balance that allows us to grow food for a population of billions would be broken. This isn't just about experiencing more bad weather. It's about the fundamental destabilization of the systems that make our planet habitable. It's a future defined by volatility and uncertainty, where extreme weather is no longer the exception, but the terrifying new norm for all of us. It is tempting to dismiss this scenario as something from a distant hypothetical future, or perhaps the plot of a science fiction film. But it is crucial to understand that this is not fantasy. The processes we have described are grounded in the fundamental laws of physics and chemistry. The melting of the Earth's ice is already underway. We are witnessing it in real time, in the retreat of mountain glaciers, the thinning of Arctic sea ice, and the increasing instability of the great ice sheets in Greenland and Antarctica. The question is not if this could happen, but how quickly. Current projections vary, but many scientists agree that if we continue on our current trajectory of greenhouse gas emissions, we could commit the planet to a complete ice melt. While the full process might take centuries, or even a few millennia to unfold, we could pass irreversible tipping points within our lifetimes, or those of our children. Once these thresholds are crossed, the melting may become unstoppable, locking in this future for generations to come, no matter what we do afterwards. This journey into a world without ice serves as a profound warning. It highlights the immense power we now wield over our planet's climate systems. The fate of the world's ice, and by extension the fate of our civilization, rests in our hands. The evidence is clear, the science is robust, and the consequences of inaction are dire. This is not a story about a distant planet. It is the story of our only home, and the chapter we are writing right now will determine its future for thousands of years. We have journeyed to a potential future, a world transformed by water and heat, where the maps are redrawn and our climate is thrown into chaos. It is a sobering vision, a stark illustration of the profound consequences of losing our planet's ice. The disappearance of these frozen kingdoms would not just be an environmental catastrophe. It would be a humanitarian crisis on a scale humanity has never before faced, challenging our very ability to survive and coexist on this planet. This is the world we are creating if we fail to change course. But this future is not yet set in stone. The ice is melting, but it has not yet vanished. The tipping points are approaching, but we may not have crossed them all. The power to alter this trajectory still lies with us. It lies in our choices, our innovations, and our collective will to protect our only home. We are the first generation to fully understand the threat of climate change, and we may be the last with a meaningful chance to do something about it. The science gives us a warning, but it also gives us a guide. The question is, can we stop it in time? The story of our planet is now our story to write. The actions we take in the coming years will echo for millennia. By understanding the gravity of what we stand to lose, we can find the motivation to protect it. There is still hope, but it requires immediate and decisive action from all of us. Thank you for joining me on this important journey. If you wish to explore more about our incredible planet, please subscribe for more mind-blowing Earth facts.